Let's go. No, wait, lo cambiaste de lugar. ¿Ah? Lo tienes que abrir.
Okay, I need to take this bitch away from you. She's done some damage.
Don't throw her away.
Oh.
Don't throw it away.
I can't have 3 drinks at the same time.
Girl, you're having 14 drinks and you're telling me not to throw away the one.
I'm home.
Yeah.
So, the next stage is stage number 2. And this stage, it's probably one of my favorite stages, but it's also... Why are you laughing? I can't do this! Anyway, anyhow. The next track, track number 3, is stage 2. So track 3, stage 2. And this one is called Him. Him. Just him. And this stage has a poem called Not Again. And this poem I wrote at the 21st of August of 2018. Apparently at 6:32. This is probably way before I even started writing songs. I mean, I used to write songs when I was 13, but I never really took it seriously. Where's my drink?
Foolish desire.
Foolish desire. Are you saying that because I'm a clown and I fall too fast? It's a foolish desire because I'm a fucking clown and I keep falling for people that I should not. I feel like I'm gonna like this one a lot. I can see the fistiness of it. That is so strong.
I made that one super strong.
Not again. It's a poem about me falling with a stranger too deeply that I even lose myself. The poem kind of ends with a reminder that I am an unlovable girl, that I am a loner, and that I'm never gonna be truly loved, because that relates to lovesick, right? I don't fall in love. Do I? Am I about to get into like a fucking emotional crisis? Anyway, it's a poem about falling in love and then kind of realizing that it's not really love, it's mostly lust, and it's just in the moment. You know, you're kind of in love with the feeling, not with the person. This stage has 3 songs, and it's the 3 stages of love. So it's wanting to be loved, being in love, and falling out of love. And the single for this stage is Sad Love Song, which is a song you guys know. And that's the last song of the stage, and I have to burp again. This is probably the first poem I wrote next to the poem of stage 4. I wrote them on the same day, and I really like this poem. This poem is a transition from thinking no one can love me to I love someone so much, I want to be loved and I want to feel loved, and I want to experience this thing everyone talks about and praises in songs and art and paintings and photography and social media and literally any form and shape. You know, love is just such a universal word, and I felt like for the first time I could feel it and experience it and be a part of it. But clearly, if you've heard Sad Love Song, you know that it did not go well. It's actually funny because these 3 songs, I wrote them in 3 different times for 3 different people. I'm starting to get really bitter. Honestly, like, who even thought about the idea of love? Like, it's just so random. Because, like, I understand, like, love when it comes to family or friends. But I feel like when it comes to intimate love, there's this kind of blurry line between what's right and what's wrong, and what's stable and what's unstable, and what's healthy and what's toxic. And it's just like a huge spectrum of expectations that it's just... There's just so much that it still has to be part of a discussion that us as humans are not ready to have, because we are selfish and we are stupid and we are ignorant to a lot of things in our world, including ourselves and our own minds. So yeah, I think I'm getting too deep. So we're just gonna finish this drink and then hop on to the next track. Okay, so the first song of stage 2, this song, it's definitely, this is definitely the part where the album starts taking turns. You can tell that the sound of each song, it's gonna be very different. So this is Rhythmic Nights. This is a cocktail Gigi prepared for us for symphonic orchestra, and it smells amazing. I love it.
Okay, good. Good.
So, symphonic orchestra. Should we listen to a bit of the song?
Let my voice
always be stuck in your head. I never sound the same.
I love it. Wow, so good. So good.
So track number 4, Symphonic Orchestra. This song I wrote it on the 20th of September of 2019. This is one of the other songs that Adrian produced. We struggled with this song a lot because the song itself is about 4 minutes long, which is like pretty long for your average pop song. I remember the first time he sent it over, it had a very different sound. It sounded too heroic kind of thing. It sounded like a superhero kind of track. And I remember then sending him some Lana Del Rey tracks and being like, oh, this is kind of like the vibe I was going for instead. I want kind of this vibe, but without taking the classical instrument and the orchestral feeling of the song. It was a very challenging song to create, for sure. It was probably the one that took the longest to finally find a middle ground between me and Adrian to be like, okay, this is it, this sounds good, let's work on this. Vocally, it's probably the hardest one to sing. It's very challenging to sing. I definitely had a lot of struggles and I felt very stressed and kind of like frustrated in the studio when I was recording this one. When I received the song back from Adrian, I absolutely loved what he did to the vocals and how he blended the song so beautifully. I'm very proud of how this song came out. It's really hard to put into physical what it's on your brain, and I had this whole different idea of how it could sound, but then for the production part I learned that it's really hard to kind of translate those thoughts into real life, and that really set a different mindset on me for teamwork and for collaborations, because it's not always going to be 100% what you picture or what you expect. There's always going to be an intake and an artistic perspective on the other person who's working with you. And I think that's why I appreciate this song so much. It's not only a song about falling in love, which I haven't even touched yet, about what the song is really about, but about the struggles I've faced while trying to produce the song. Definitely one of the most important lessons I learned while recording the album. And so, going into what the song means, it's basically me contrasting and comparing music to an intimate relationship. And you can see in the lyrics how I use musical terms to describe what intimacy feels like or looks like to me. My music is definitely my biggest priority in my life. When I feel sad, when I feel happy, when I feel stressed, like I always rely on music to make me feel better or to make me feel understood. And I kind of wanted to reflect that obsession or that dependency on the music to contrast with like the craving of intimacy with a significant other. That's where I started playing with words, you know, whistle my laughs, drum to my heartbeat, and you left me scratched, like, you know, those old CDs that you find that they're full of scratches. Really trying to compare how we treat music and how we see music and how we understand music with how we see and understand and relate intimacy with people. It's very interesting to see that all of this came from my brain. It definitely put into perspective my abilities and my talent for songwriting. Yeah, I love the song, and it's basically the beginning of a relationship. You want that person to be obsessed with you as much as you're obsessed with this huge passion of yours, which for me it's music. I want this person to be obsessed. I want this person to crave me and to look for me on their highs and their lows and their middle grounds. Like, life without you now kind of seems pointless because they've experienced what it's like to be with you and to be intimate and to hear you and to see you and to listen to you and to touch you, and it's like, I don't want to experience life past you. And I think that's the whole feeling of the song, and I think it's beautiful. I love Symphonic Orchestra, and I hope you guys like it too, because it's definitely a very intimate and personal song. Cloudy
I'm gonna mix her up a
day.
little bit.
So good. So, my confession. My confession is a very funny story. I wrote the song on December 15th of 2018, and this song I actually wrote for someone who I met 2 hours before writing the song. He was the roommate of the guy I liked at the time. I don't remember exactly what was going on, but I threw a party at my house and he came over, and that was the first time I met him, and I was like, he's beautiful, he's kind, he's just perfect. And I remember waking up the next day, so the 15th of December, and waking up and being like, I want to write a love song. And this is probably the only love song I've ever written in my entire life, because most of my songs are about heartbreak, but this one's actually a love confession to this guy. Hi Liam, this song is about you, even though we only saw each other like twice in our entire lives, and the first time I saw you I decided to write you a love song, which might be creepy for you, but hey, it's a great song, so thank you for inspiring me to write it. But this song is inspired on you, not about you. I don't really think about you anymore. You were cool though, so like, if you want to back in Paris, like hit me up, like let's hang out. And yeah, should we play a little bit of the song? I think we should. I definitely think we should. There's no other way I want to spend my life. So if I could spend my life with you, I'll spend it just like we do, because I love all of you. I love these lyrics. I feel like I'm not really a person that falls truly in love with people, but after meeting this guy, I felt like I had to write a love song, you know? I was inspired by this idea of what the perfect person would be for me. I was like, I want to crave this love, and I want to have this type of love where I want to spend my entire life with them, because I've never really experienced that, and I think it's such a beautiful thing. You can definitely see character development and like an emotional growth once you hear this song, because we went from I'm a bad bitch, I don't fall in love, to I want you to be obsessed with me, to I love you and you love me and we're both happy and we're both complete, and we don't need to complete each other, but we add to each other's lives, and that's the beauty of our relationship, and that's what I want for my entire life next to you. And I think it's just such a beautiful progression of personality and development of character. I wanted to keep the song as simple as possible because of that, because I feel like as humans we make life so complicated when it shouldn't be. I feel like life is just so simple, and because we're so full of insecurities and what ifs and prejudices, that we make life impossible for ourselves, and it shouldn't be. So I decided to keep it as simple as possible with 2 guitars and left it that simple for the entire song, because I feel like emotions like this are so simple yet so complex because of our mentality. Well, they shouldn't be so complex. I feel like they should just be, you know what I mean? Definitely one of the songs that touched me the most on the album, because it's such a different song on the album. It introduces a new character and a new perspective on my life as a person, as a lover, as a human being with emotions, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. This song was produced by Jeff. He is one of my online producers. He worked on this song super fast. I love the song and I hope you guys like it too. It's honestly a very different song, and that's why I call it my confession, because it really contradicts everything that I've been talking about throughout the album till this point. I just think it's very interesting to see a different perspective. I'm still the same person when I wrote Lovesick to when I wrote My Confession to where I wrote maybe Cigarette or Drown, which are songs that are at the end of the album. So I hope you guys like it.
I actually try it.
There's nothing else left of my life. You took
Oh, like milk.
no piece
It's
of
good.
it, but how do you let go? The one that you love.
You can have a moment with it.
I need to start looking at our picture,
Recording, it's recording.
Oh, okay, okay.
but they're the only remains I've left of what we had.
This song has fucked me up way too many times.
And they say
song hits hard.
the pain
It really
only
does.
lasts for- Anyway, this is track number 6. We're on to track number 6, aka track number 3 on stage 2. This song, you all know it. It's probably it is the first song I released. I released it, I believe, on the 26th of August of 2019, and that is Sad Love Song. I absolutely adore this song. I just feel like the lyrics and the melodies of this song are just absolutely beautiful, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to it. I watched this drama where they say that the first love never comes true. If you guys know which drama it is, you're a real one. And I actually watched this drama way after I wrote and polished this song. But when I watched this drama, I remember being like, wow, shit do be like that sometimes, you know what I mean? I remember I wrote this song because I saw one of our friends struggling in her relationship with her first love, and that just kind of got me thinking about my first love and my sister's first love, and how we all kind of shared the same theme or pattern on behavior and on thoughts, and that's why I decided to write this song. So obviously the song is about my first love. Hi Seva, how you doing? This song is about you. And all your friends asked me, like literally all of them DM me asking me if this song was about you. If you're watching this, it is about you. Here's the thing about my songs. Just because I write them on certain times, it doesn't mean I feel the same way. Even though I was in love with this guy for probably 6 or 7 years, writing this song definitely helped me to move on from those feelings and from realizing that it is okay to move on, and it's okay for your first love not to work, and it's okay to feel sad and heartbroken and just kind of realize that it just doesn't work out sometimes. It's just not meant to be. Instead of holding on to a feeling or holding on to memories that will never come back, you just kind of have to learn from them and grow from them, and that's what I got from writing this song. It was very therapeutic for me to write this song because while writing this song, I went back to the mindset I was when I was 12, 13, and how in love and how infatuated I was with this person. And now that I'm 20, I was looking back to those times in my life, and I realized that I was capable of feeling and loving so much at such a young age, that those feelings helped me grow into the person I am and helped me stabilize a mentality around love and emotions and intimacy that I couldn't even imagine on doing without this person. I absolutely love this song. I love the melodies of the song. It's probably my favorite melody in all the album, especially the chorus part. This song I also produced with Jeff. This one took me about 2 to 3 days to write because I remember the first time I started writing it, it was inspired on my best friend's relationship with her first love, and then I started thinking about my own relationship with my first love, and then I went and I was like, oh, my sister also had a similar story to mine, and I just kind of connected the three and how the three of us were thinking, and that's how the song came to life. This one definitely holds a special place in my heart because it was the first song I released, and I remember how scared and paranoid I was about releasing the song. Like, I remember calling my friend Christina and Mariale in the middle of the night. It was like 2 a.m. in London, and I was just crying, and I was like, I don't want to release this song. Like, I feel it's not good enough. People are gonna judge it. He's gonna know it's about him, and he's gonna judge me, and he's gonna text me how much he regrets being with me and how he hated everything he had with me, and he doesn't appreciate the song, and he's gonna make me delete the song, and I'm gonna regret this, and people are gonna judge me because I don't really share my romantic experiences online. And I was like, oh, like this is just not gonna go well. And I was like, I really want to cancel this release, but they were telling me like, you have to start somewhere, and a part of being an artist is putting your heart in a chopping board and letting people judge it and love it and hate it and criticize it and admire it. And you just don't know the reaction it's gonna have. You might be singing for a reason or two, but people are gonna listen for 10,000 reasons, and there's gonna be a time when you sing the song live, people are gonna listen and they're gonna remember their own stories, and they're gonna sing back the song for another different 10,000 reasons. And I think that's the beauty of music and art, that you can relate on based on perspective. And I feel like this song is the perfect example, or the perfect beginning for me to express what I feel and have people relate and have people listen to the story or the message I'm trying to send, and just kind of embrace all those feelings and be like, oh, I kind of felt this way, but I couldn't describe it with words. So thank you for describing it on such a beautiful melody and lyrics and production and instrumental. The amount of times I felt this way with the songs I listened to, it really inspired me to release a song and not stop myself and be an obstacle in my own way to kind of accomplish my goal of sharing my music and sharing my word and sharing my stories with all of you. And this song is definitely the beginning of something beautiful and the beginning of my career as a songwriter. It definitely holds a very, very special place in my heart. And I know so many of you have loved this song, and I love this song, and it's very special for me. And I'm so thankful for all of you who texted me saying that it's a very special song for you, and seeing the response to it is what really inspired me to release this whole album. So this song is definitely the beginning of it all, and I'm very grateful for it.
That was so inspirational. I love that. Oh my gosh, you're gonna look back on some things you said and